What's up guys, it's me Ultra, and tonight we're gonna go over the most recent episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After. I actually did really enjoy this episode because there were some vulnerable, emotional moments that I really liked and some surprises. I want to start off with a quick voice-only segment about Patrick and Thais. Patrick was hoping to get close to Thais' father, Carlos, but John was in fact stealing the show because he was making an effort to really talk to Carlos, and they were getting along. They seemed to just have an amazing connection, even though they clearly didn't understand each other. Carlos stated that he really appreciated the fact that John was next to him and talking to him and that he had the balls to do so, and he was being quite cold to Patrick. Even when Patrick tried, you could tell that Carlos was turning down his offers to go fishing or jet skiing, and it was just not going as he intended to, and it was just kind of bittersweet for him to see his brother getting that affection and attention.
I wish I knew more Portuguese. I wish I could. I wish. You're like. Oh, yeah. It's the good life, Carlos. The good life. Yeah?
Aqui, cara. Cara bom. O John é o seguinte. Aparentemente parece que o John tá tendo. Ele tá tendo mais coragem de aproximar comigo assim, pra conversar, dialogar. Sempre tá do meu lado ali pra conversar. Patrick. Ele tá precisando só de se esforçar.
Carlos and John have like this instant buddy connection.
I didn't like that too. And that's weird because they don't speak the same language.
Yeah.
Like, why
They act like they're talking about stuff.
Right.
When it came to Sophie and Rob, just really quickly, they're in this in-between stage and he was flirting with women for his birthday last episode. He decided he's gonna break up with Sophie. I'm looking forward to seeing that because so far it's just been this middle ground of stagnancy and it's been really difficult to watch. I know exactly what point they're at. Speaking of a weird stagnancy, there's something going on with Loren and Alexi because typically they're on the same page and they have a very healthy relationship.
Why not? You'll be my cheerleader. I would cheer you
Loren.
on. Just saying.
I'm just saying that I'm not gonna be a cheerleader, okay?
Loren wanted plastic surgery. Alexi wasn't really okay with that. Then they were having dinner and she revealed that she wants to go back to having a career. They have 3 children and it sounded like their agreement was that she would stay home and take care of them. That's a huge change and that's a lot to expect, but at the same time I'm all about girl power and girls being in control of their career. My mother and my grandmother have all been career women, so I can totally respect the hustle of a mother career woman. And there's a point where she said, I want you to be my cheerleader, and he's like, no respecting man would be a cheerleader with the pom-poms.
What do you mean? Support system.
Any man in the world that respects himself and his manhood don't want his wife to tell him, come be my cheerleader.
He took it very literally, which I thought was interesting, but it gave us a little bit of an insight into how conservative he is, because typically people would not just go to that conclusion, but it might also be a second language thing. He might have not understood exactly what she was saying. Then we had Angela and Michael, and this moment was actually touching to me. I don't know if you guys knew, but there's been a lot of drama going on behind the scenes with Angela. She's essentially been canceled and she's friends with this blogger that a lot of them were friends with called John Yates.
You will fucking pay.
He was, you know, making some kind of threats or something, and so it's this whole thing because I guess he's staying with Angela right now, so that's a problem. And it's been painted as though she's having all these toxic people around her grandchildren. But in the episode, I thought it was really cute how childlike and innocent the children were. They were screaming when Michael came through the door. So it just seems like Angela hasn't quite tainted their minds yet, and she did a good job at getting everybody to welcome him, and it does seem like he's formed a connection with these children, even if it has just been over video calls. And some of the children are mixed race, so I'm sure that they really love having Michael as their stepfather. Of course, who doesn't want to have some family members that remind you of yourself? So I think it could have been a really good thing for both of them and for the grandchildren as well. Then we found out that Kobe was so struck by his Cameroon visit that he asked Emily if they could just not go back home and they could just stay.
Oh, Kobe wants us to move here. What? You said you wanted to live here for a couple years.
She's like, no, like, huh? And he's like, oh, you make all the decisions in the marriage right now? And then the family members were talking to him in the car, and he goes, do you think my children will remember this experience of their Cameroonian traditions? And Emily goes, tell them what you told me. So they reveal that, and the mom goes, what? She's like, I think that the children are way too young to even remember this. And then the dad was interrogating him, asking, do you have a job? Do you have a business? Emily's like, what business? He was being extremely vague, and it sounded like he really didn't have a business. It was just going to be something that he was going to wing.
Wait a minute, let's talk just... Where would you live here?
I will live in Douala or in Boya, and I
have money to buy a house?
I got money to buy a house, or even got money to start a business, and we can live here for a year or two so the kids can understand the culture and you can get closer to my family.
I would be upset by that too. I would not be down with somebody just telling me that we're gonna move to another country because they agreed to this whole visa process. I don't know if he's at the point where he can actually move back or not, and it's too much to ask of somebody, especially since the children, if they're gonna start kindergarten and stuff, they need to be able to adjust. They need to be able to learn English correctly because they're toddlers. I think he just got overly excited by the idea of being there, but it brought up some kind of trauma for the mom because of how they told her she's our wife and she's our property now, and she said, I feel like we're losing Emily. I feel like she was like really fearing that was gonna truly happen for a second there. Then we got to see Ashley and Manuel. They had a very sweet moment together.
Potente no puede trabajar para ayudar a mi familia. Por ejemplo, mi mamá está mal con el brazo.
It kind of helped me to ease my doubts about Manuel because I have been having doubts that he's truly in the relationship for the right reasons because of the amount of money that he's asked for. He did reveal one red flag during their conversation, and that was that he took the $1,000 that he asked her for and he put it in the bank account to save for a better life. So it makes me feel a little bit weird when a foreign man is trying to save up money. Like, is he stacking that money so he can leave? It kind of reminds me of how Georgie was hiding money in his socks.
Pero ¿qué puedo hacer? No quiero compartirte mis tristezas, no quiero compartirte todo lo que realmente siento en mi corazón, porque no quiero hacerte sentir mal a ti. No quiero eso.
So he ended up revealing that he asked for the $300 because his mom has been having issues with her arm and she needs some kind of IV. And so Ashley was like, okay, I'll give you that money. They're my family, so I'll support them as well, but I need you to tell me the truth. And he admitted, yes, I've been talking to the mother, the baby mama, but it's been only to find out how my children are doing. And he broke down crying, saying that he misses his children so much. Guys, I don't know why, but whenever I sit in front of the camera, all of a sudden my nose will get itchy, and I never get that otherwise. I don't know if it's just like the lights or me being nervous or something, but it's like, I'm so sorry. I've had commenters like talk about stop playing with your hair and all this stuff. So I'm like trying to be conscious about it and like getting this itch that's unexplainable. So Ashley and Manuel both ended up crying together, and he broke down saying, I miss my family and my children. So it was a very sweet and cute moment, and I'm very happy for her. Then we got to see Gino and Jasmine, and I think a lot of people are enjoying making fun of Jasmine's butt implants because they look horrible. They look like some Barbie doll's ass or something. They just look so plastic and just not realistic at all. And Jasmine has pretty nice hamstrings and quads because she works out a lot. Apparently she's selling a really not that great protein mix or something. But anyways, people on Reddit were screenshotting photos of the butt implants and of her walking. I got to glimpse some of it during this next routine that she had to do for her beauty pageant.
It feels amazing.
Gino was recording and he was cringing, and I did definitely feel like he was being a little bit too harshly critical of her. I didn't think that her posing or her walk was really that bad. My posing, because I've tried to learn for bodybuilding, is pretty bad, you guys. I thought she did pretty good, and she did have some stage presence. She was a little bit stiff, but it wasn't like it was much worse than the other girls or anything like that. So I found it a little bit odd that Gino kept putting her down, and he was saying some very hurtful things, that she gets uglier by the day to him.
I have been doing nothing but supporting you.
What did I say? Do you understand the reason why I'm here? Why am I here? Have depression? I have alopecia? I am homesick, and you reject me as a woman every time you have an opportunity.
Because they fight every single day.
I didn't say you were ugly or
you made me feel ugly. It's concerning, and I highlight concerning because this is a beauty pageant and this is temporary. I'm talking about long-term things as our marriage.
It seems like he's kind of just thrown in the towel with this relationship. He dangled the carrot in front of her face saying that he was going to get her all these nice things, made her completely dependent. He seems to have changed his mind and he doesn't really want to get her anything. I like the more real moments of 90 Day Fiancé. They're very important to me as a viewer to connect with the stars. I hope that you guys are enjoying this and the new season of The Other Way. That's truly my favorite thing. I hope you guys had an awesome 4th of July. I did have to, unfortunately, call the cops on the bad neighbors directly below. They got extremely intoxicated. Those are the people that are trying to have me arrested for walking in my house. I'm really not okay with alcohol related things being around me or in my life because I'm a sober person. So when I pay for a place to live, I'm paying for peace and my sanity. You have to be able to ground yourself at home. So I'm not tolerating alcoholism, and I did in fact call the police. So it's been quite quiet since then. And I'm still waiting back on my background check for my government job. I did the fingerprinting. So please continue to keep your fingers crossed for me. I'm really hoping I'll get an answer this week, and hopefully it'll be a really good answer and good news because I'm excited. Apparently, I found out because I looked at the organizational chart that one of the women that works there was actually my coworker in the past, and I've never worked at two different places with the same person, so I'm very excited about that. We actually both briefly worked at Subway. I just got a temporary summer job at Subway. I got along with her really well, so I'm really hoping that it's some kind of divine synchronicity and that it's meant to be, because I'm very excited to be working with somebody that I actually get along with and that I like. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys thought about the episode, and if you could, please consider supporting my channel, whether it's through engaging, such as liking or commenting, checking out my merch and my memberships, I would greatly appreciate that. It really helps me out a lot. Thanks, guys. Love you guys so much. Bye, guys.